Block Explorer is the primary way to understand how a blockchain is performing. Everything that happens on-chain is recorded, and the Block Explorer gives us access to this information in real time. In traditional markets, if you were to invest in a company, you'd have to wait until the company publishes its quarterly report to see how it's performing. Along with this, you would also need to weigh up how the report has been produced and what information has been omitted or overly exerted. With accounting trickery, it's possible to tell stories that don't always represent the truth. And this, of course, is very much dependent on how the company wants to be portrayed for the coming quarter or year. On-chain data lets us move away from these centralized traditional finance models and lets the individual investigate for themselves how a project is performing. Depending on your success criteria, this information can be as broad or as narrow as you like. Another misconception in the cryptocurrency space is to believe that the price charts produced from exchange data represents the value or the current value of a project. The problem with these representations are they've been heavily manipulated and don't include on-chain information. The data produced generally comes from centralized exchanges and their order books, which is yet another hangover from traditional markets. More often than not, the trading volume demonstrates either market maker activities which can dramatically push up the perceived volume, or trading bots opening and closing and filling their own orders or front-running market sentiment. Being able to read a Block Explorer gives you the ability to look past the price and build up your own fundamentals for a project. In traditional markets, they would call this being an insider. In open finance or blockchain, this is just the norm. So let's look at the basic data you should be able to read to get an understanding for the power of this project and see how a project is performing. The DCRDATA overview page gives you a quick glance at the current state of a network, and this is a perfect starting point for our analysis. Starting with the latest mined block section, you can see how the last 8 blocks were mined and whether they are being created on schedule. In Decred, this is approximately every 5 minutes. The latest block section also shows how many blocks the chain has mined since the Genesis block, how many transactions each block contains, how many votes validated each block, how many tickets were purchased, how many revokes each block had, the number of DCR coins transacted, and finally the size of each block. Decred's maximum block size is approximately 0.39 megabytes. The next section is the Mempool. This shows the transactions being prepared to go into the next block, or if the block is full, into the following blocks. In general terms, the Mempool is a snapshot of the network nodes deciding on which transactions are valid and need to be included in a block. If a block is full, the miner can decide on the order of the transactions. Typically, the higher fee transactions will be added to the blockchain first. The next section is the voting area, which is unique to Decred's blockchain due to its proof-of-work, proof-of-stake hybrid nature. In this section, you can see the current price of a ticket, followed by what the price will be in the next interval. This section had its algorithm changed in July 2017 and was the first Decred consensus vote. The reason for this change was to stabilize the ticket price and try to maintain a ticket pool size of approximately 41,000 tickets. The final part of this section shows the staking reward along with the amount of DCR coins locked in the ticket pool. The current ticket pool size is over 63% of the DCR coin supply. The mining section shows how the proof of work part of the Decred hybrid system is performing. The hash rate and difficulty are combined. As the hash rate increases, so does the difficulty. This combination provides a systemized approach to maintaining the block production rate and aims to keep block production as close to the 5-minute interval as possible. For a pure proof of work system, the higher the hash rate, the more secure the network. This is slightly different regarding Decred. Decred requires approximately a tenth of the hash rate of a pure proof of work chain to be just as secure. This of course is conditional on there being a distributed proof of stake participation rate, as proof of stake voters are the contrary party that validate the miner's work. The final part of this section shows the miner's reward with the reduction interval. In the case of Decred, there is a 1% reduction in the block reward approximately every 21 days. The last section of this overview page is the distribution area. This is where you can audit the coin supply, making sure it correlates with expectations. Next to this, you'll find the current value of the Decred treasury, which currently has more than 785,000 DCR coins locked in its vaults. As you can see, with a minimum amount of effort, you can actually build up a good understanding for how a blockchain project is performing. In my honest opinion, Decred has one of the best block explorers in the space, and the data provided is both visually clear, easy to understand, and decentralized with no external manipulation. This is even more impressive when you consider how much more detailed the structure of the project is compared to a pure proof of work system. Stay tuned for the next DCRDATA video, where we'll look at some more advanced features of the Decred Block Explorer. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, don't forget to give it a like, give it a comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel to show your support. And I'll see you next time.